In my last video, I broke down my full guide on how to play Magneto in Marvel Rivals, including his strengths, weaknesses, his main strats, his primary role on the team. But in this video, we're going to go deeper into the weeds and really flesh out what separates a decent Magneto player from a great Magneto player. I've got 6 strategies to break down for you today, so buckle up and get ready to take notes if need be, because these are the things that help me catapult my Magneto to Lord status and make him one of my main choices for comp lobbies from Diamond and above. But before we start breaking down those strats, let me just take a moment to say thank you to the sponsor of today's video. It's HelloFresh. My wife and I both work full-time to provide for our family of 4, and nothing kills the immaculate vibes on a good weekend like having to sit down and meal plan for the following week instead of enjoying our time with the kids and with each other. And we've tried several meal kit services in our now 15 years of marriage, and none of them have hit just right the way that HelloFresh has, America's #1 meal kit. We like to share tips on this channel on how to win. Check out just how much HelloFresh is going to help you slay out there in your day-to-day. They're now giving subscribers free breakfast for life, meaning you'll enjoy a bonus free breakfast item with every single HelloFresh delivery. Talk about a massive W. In the gaming world, we like to customize. We customize our characters, cosmetics, gear, digital living spaces. It's in our DNA. HelloFresh also lets you customize everything about your experience, including delivery dates, the kinds of meals you'll be receiving, from health-conscious options to quick and easy meals to vegetarian to spicy meals. You can even customize portion sizes based on your family size. And the best part, you're saving time and money by only getting exactly what you need when you need it without spending hours poring over notes and recipes to meal plan. And on top of that, every new subscription using my link directly supports my channel, helping me make more content for you beautiful souls every week. So click the link in the description or use my code and get 10 free meals plus free breakfast for life. 1 breakfast item per box while subscription is active if you're in the US. Outside the US, the local discount will apply. Thanks so much, HelloFresh, for sponsoring this video. Let's get back to the Marvel Rivals content. All right, strategy number 1 today, identify your playmakers. Listen, I'm a firm believer that every player has something to bring to the table, and we should be supporting all of your teammates, right? But I'd also be lying if I said that all teammates pull the same amount of weight in a match, and you know this is true, right? Sometimes one of your duelists has 20 KOs more than the other one, right? One of them just was stepping up more for one reason or another. It could be out of their control. It could be that, they're just playing better. Or it could be that the hero that they chose to play is better suited to take on the enemy's team composition. But no matter the reason, you're going to want to identify who on your team is kicking ass. And that's the person that you want to support more often with your Bulwark Shield. Sometimes I have a Thor on my team that's just wailing on the enemy team. He's diving in and completely sidelining maybe a Doctor Strange or even an enemy Magneto, as both of them are bad matchups for Thor's kit. Then that's the guy that I want to put my shield on, okay? Or how about this? You know what's scarier than a Wolverine with 100 rage and a lunge cooldown? I'll tell you. It's an invincible Wolverine with 100 rage and a lunge cooldown. Sometimes I have a dynamite Wolverine on my team, and the best thing I can do is be mindful of when he's jumping into the fray and then put that Bulwark Shield on him to maximize his chances of securing a kill. And let me be real with you for a second, okay? Sometimes you got to put the Bulwark Shield on yourself, okay? I get it, but as someone who also plays healers, do you know who the easiest teammates to heal are? It's traditional tanks like Magneto. So if my healer is up, I'm better off using my Bulwark to protect a duelist or a dive tank than choosing to protect myself. So identify your playmakers and use your Bulwark to give them invulnerability on their approaches. That's one of the biggest differences between a good Magneto and a fantastic Magneto. And this is sort of tangential to that, but I do want to mention it before we move on to the second strategy that I want to talk about today. But sometimes you're going to be in a situation where somebody is attacking you and the healer that's glued to your hip. Can I make a recommendation? Don't put the Bulwark on yourself. Okay, sometimes if you're super low health and you know that your healer's not going to be able to keep up, sure, do it. But otherwise, put the Bulwark Shield on your healer. Because if they know they're safe, they're going to full send on healing you. Like I did in this instance where the Rocket Raccoon and myself get pushed by a Wolverine. He's a tank slayer, okay? But instead of defending myself, I put the shield on my rocket, and my rocket then knows he's safe. And he full sends on healing me, and we're able to take this Wolverine down because he can't out damage the healing that my rocket is doing to me. Alright, moving on to strategy number 2. Use your burst damage combo very, and I mean very frequently, okay? There's a 1-2-3 punch combo that you can do as Magneto that's super simple but highly effective to burst down enemy health quickly. All you do is use your primary fire, then a charged mag cannon shot, and then another primary fire. This Punisher gave up at the end of the match because he knew it was over, which makes him a really great, easy example for this for you to see. But if you're applying your Bulwark Shield liberally, then you're going to have a lot of mag shot charges ready to go in, your matches from start to finish. You're going to have a ton of these charges ready to go. Use them! So this should be a staple maneuver. It's scary good at bullying healers and duelists in the mid line who think they're safe behind their tanks. And whenever you see that opening, just toss it in there, right? Boom, boom, boom. If all you do is get hit markers, then you're still doing something of value even though you don't have a kill to show for it. Healers and duelists who are weak have to back off to get health. That means fewer enemies doing damage to you and your teammates, and more openings for dives and attacks for your teammates as well. But this also is a great counter to duelists who are pushing you, okay? Or a dive tank like Thor who drops on you. Hit them with the primary fire, mag shot, primary fire, and now within 1 second they've lost almost 250 health, and they may be reconsidering their commitment to challenging you. It's a massive health swing in your favor so long as you hit your shots. So, hit your shots. But do that combo and do it a lot. On to strategy number 3. Block any and every enemy ultimate that you possibly can. Okay, Magneto's shift ability, his magnetic shield, is completely impervious to damage. It doesn't last very long, but it can't be shattered. So you should be using it to step in between your teammates and any enemy who's using their ultimate ability. This will hard counter any ultimate that does all of its damage in one instance, like Scarlet Witch, Iron Man's bomb, even Thor's ground slam ultimate. But it will also give your teammates a few free seconds of damage against other ultimates that do damage over time, like Punishers, Star-Lords, and Spider-Mans. So don't be afraid to step up and face tank lots of ultimates with your magnetic shield. Doing this can save entire matches, team pushes, and more. It's one of the most crucial parts of being a good Magneto for your team. And if you are queuing with friends and they're on the comms with you, you can actually just make that call out loud. I do this all the time when I'm playing with my wife and our buddies. I'm like, stand behind me. If I hear that Scarlet Witch go up and she goes, "Hey-ya!" or whatever she is, I say, get behind me, get behind me, get behind me. And everybody sort of rallies to me. I raise the magnetic shield at the last second. Everybody's safe, and now she's right in front of like 3 or 4 people. Like, hey guys, can we talk about this? She's an easy kill. Let's head on to strategy number 4. Try to maintain your most lethal distance of 25 meters. As you might know already, Magneto's primary fire ability does damage twice. Okay, first, it does damage on impact. Second, it does splash damage in an area upon detonation. So if you directly impact an enemy, you'll do damage twice to them with a single projectile. But here's the catch. Magneto's projectiles will explode in a wider radius the further they travel. So if it hits something that's 10 meters away, it will detonate into a tiny explosion. But if it hits something at the maximum range of 25 meters, big explosion. This also means Magneto is capable of doing incredible chip damage into packs of enemies in choke points. But if, and only if, you maintain a distance of 25 meters. Do it! Stop moving in too far. Stop backing up too far, right? If you keep yourself at that 25 meter sweet spot, your damage is going to skyrocket because you'll be chunking away the health of that tank that you're shooting at, as well as the healer on their hip and the duelist that's trying to shoot over their shoulder, right? Believe me when I say that if you learn to stay at that 25 meter range as much as possible, you're going to see an average damage done on Magneto doubled every match. I promise. So hear me when I say it's worth it to dial in that distance and to keep it as much as you can. It's not always possible, right, given the location on the map, given the position of your teammates, but whenever possible, hover right there around 25 meters. And a polite reminder here, if you ping an enemy that you're shooting at, It will tell you exactly on the ping how far away the enemy is from you, so use that to dial in the distance mid-combat. Maybe you're taking shots, you're like, how far away am I? You slip in a ping, and it's like, you're 20 meters away. You take 2 steps back. Stuff like that. Moving on, here's strategy number 5. Keep a close eye on the charge of your ultimate ability, Meteor M. And I don't mean how close you are to having it cooled down. I mean, when you're up in the air with the meteor over your head, keep an eye on how much damage it is taking so you know when to throw it and who you should be throwing it at. Okay, it'll slowly charge up on its own, but if enemies are shooting projectiles, they'll all get sucked up into the ult and make it stronger. But once it takes too much damage, it'll break apart and you won't be able to throw it. Now at base, the meteor will do about 250 damage, so it should one-shot any squishy enemy if you hit them directly. But to be safe, I recommend not throwing it until it's at least about 30% charged. But also know that at 75% charged, the meteor has the ability to kill a Luna Snow in the middle of her ult with a direct hit. If you're a little off, it won't kill her though, okay? So this is big risk, big reward here. You can also kill a Cloak and Dagger out of her ultimate if you land a direct hit in between her dashes. But to be honest, I don't really recommend this as the window of opportunity is very small. There's a very good chance you won't get a direct hit, or you'll time it just a fraction of a second too late as she starts her next dash and you'll have nothing to show for it. I think Magneto's capacity to counter a Cloak and Dagger ult is a bit exaggerated. Quite frankly, you might get more mileage out of the ult if you wait for her healing aura to dissipate and then drop it while they're all exposed and overextended. But make the choice that feels right in the moment. If you want to take the risk, you think you can snipe her out of her ult, you're really comfortable with the speed of delivering that ultimate blow, then go for it, right? Who am I to tell you what to do with your life? And finally, strategy number 6, don't chase a weak enemy unless you're absolutely certain your team will be fine without you, and you can definitely get that kill and circle back, okay? But a lot of times as Magneto, just because of how much damage his ultimate does at base and how much damage his primary fire does, you'll leave enemies with a tiny sliver of health, a lot. This is by design, by the way. It's part of balancing him and keeping him in check. But it makes you feel compelled to go finish off that kill. Sometimes that's the right play, but oftentimes it's not. It's a great way to get yourself overextended and killed, or leave your healers in a vulnerable position where enemy divers can pounce on them while you go chasing your Moon Knight kill, and then they're left alone. Only for you to turn around and now have little health with both of your healers on a respawn timer, and your team is defenseless against a counter push. So be the anchor that your team needs you to be. Ping enemies who are weak and give your duelists and your more mobile dive tanks the opportunity to go chase them down. Your goal is to be a team player and a rock for your squad. So don't overcommit to a single kill if the trade-off could very well be a swing in the opposite direction and an ace for your enemy. So stay put, play your part, trust your teammates to do their part. And that's the video, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel today and watching. If you found these tips to be helpful or entertaining, then please let me know by leaving a like on the video, as that is the best free way to support the content right here on YouTube. And consider subscribing for additional Marvel Rivals content. Be sure to check the link in the description so you can explore the options that HelloFresh has to offer you and your family. And a big thank you to them for sponsoring the video today. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the arena. Bye-bye.